Today, we're jumping right into the high-stakes world of global aviation, and we're talking about a real titan, an airport that just doesn't know how to rest on its laurels, Singapore's Changi Airport.
Okay, let's start with a number. 17.3 million. Just let that sink in for a second. In the world of airports and airplanes, what do you think that number could possibly be?
Well, that's how many passengers walk through the gates at Changi Airport. You know, one of the biggest and best hubs on the entire planet?
And here's the crazy part. They pulled that off in just 3 months, in a single quarter of 2025. This isn't just some comeback story, folks. This is a declaration. So the real question is, how'd they do it? And maybe even more important, what's next?
Okay, first up, to really get a grip on where Changi's headed, you've got to understand just how strong they are right now. I mean, these numbers, they really set the scene for everything we're about to talk about.
So that 17.3 million figure, that's a solid 3.1% jump from the year before. And look, this isn't just a one-time blip. It tells us that the recovery is real and the demand is steady. It's basically proof that people in the Asia-Pacific are ready to travel, and they're doing it in droves.
So where are all these people coming from, right? You've got your usual powerhouses like Indonesia and Malaysia, but dig a little deeper. The traffic coming from China, it shot up by almost 10%. And Vietnam? An incredible 11.3% jump. It just goes to show you, Changi is perfectly placed, right in the middle of this massive travel explosion happening in Asia.
But here's the thing about being on top. Everyone wants your spot. Changi is killing it, and you better believe the competition is noticed. This is where the story gets interesting, because a global battle for the skies is seriously starting to heat up.
Which brings us to the big question. When all your rivals are building bigger and better, how do you stay number one? I mean, is being the champ today really enough to guarantee you'll be the champ tomorrow? I'm not so sure. Let's take a look at the playing field, because Changi is definitely not alone here. Check this out. Hong Kong is gearing up for 120 million passengers a year. And then you've got Bangkok and Dubai, both aiming for a jaw-dropping 150 million. This isn't just friendly competition anymore. It's a full-blown mega-hub arms race, and the stakes couldn't be higher.
So what's Changi's move? How do they answer this challenge? Well, they answer with a project so massive, so ambitious, it's almost hard to believe. They answer with Terminal 5.
Get ready for this number, 50 million. That's how many passengers Terminal 5 is being built to handle every single year. And that's just phase one. To put that into perspective for you, this one terminal is bigger than a lot of entire major airports around the world. It is an absolute game changer.
And don't think this is some far-off fantasy. Nope, the wheels are already turning. They broke ground back in May of 2025. A brand new third runway is going to be up and running by the end of 2027. And the whole terminal, should be finished sometime in the mid-2030s. It's happening.
But look, Terminal 5 isn't just about size. It's about being smart. We're talking about a level of automation and AI that's going to blow your mind. Biometric systems so you can just breeze through. And a huge focus on sustainability with things like solar panels and super efficient systems. The whole point is to build this massive, futuristic terminal that somehow still feels personal and easy to navigate.
Okay, so a giant new terminal is a pretty big power move, right? But that's just one piece of the puzzle. The real genius of what Changi is doing is that their strategy is about so much more than just pouring concrete.
Yeah, this quote from one of the top execs at Changi really nails it. It's all about connectivity. See, it's one thing to have a huge airport, but it's another thing to fill it. They're constantly adding new airlines, new destinations. As of right now, you can fly to over 160 cities from Changi on 100 different airlines. And that web just keeps getting bigger.
Plus, let's be real, you can't build for the future without thinking green, and Changi is all over this. They're not just talking to talk, they're setting some really ambitious goals to cut emissions. They're even bringing in a new levy to help fund sustainable aviation fuel, which is basically a much cleaner jet fuel. This is smart. They're future-proofing themselves, getting ahead of new rules and what travelers are going to demand.
But you know what? You can have all the fancy tech and shiny new buildings in the world, but if you don't have the right people to run it all, it's worthless. And that, right there, is a huge challenge that a lot of people tend to forget about. Right now, you've got over 60,000 people working in aviation in Singapore. But here's the kicker. Technology is expected to totally change up to a third of those jobs in just the next 5 years. So what do?
Well, instead of just waiting for that to happen, they're getting ahead of it. They've put a $200 million fund on the table specifically for training and upgrading their workforce. It's a massive investment in their people, making sure they're just as ready for the future as the airport itself.
So let's pull all these threads together. You've got these record-breaking passenger numbers, you have this insane competition from all sides, and then you have this absolutely monumental investment in Terminal 5. What does it all add up to? It's a massive, high-stakes gamble on the entire future of air travel. And this really gets to the heart of it all. The risks? Oh, they are absolutely real. You've got that fierce competition, you've got the chance of a global recession, and just the mind-boggling amount of money they're spending. But the reward? Well, the reward is cementing Singapore's place as the #1 aviation hub in the world, not just for now, but for generations to come.
So in a world full of giants, how does the champion stay on top? Changi's answer seems to be, you don't just build bigger, you build smarter, you build greener, and you build more connected. They're not just adding another terminal, they're trying to invent the future of flying. And that leaves us with one final thought. With everyone else also reaching for the stars, is this champion's big bet going to be enough to keep them at the very top?